Hey, what's up everybody? Jake here and welcome to the hobby. In today's video, we are counting down the top 20 Pokemon cards from the upcoming Scarlet and Violet base set. It's 20 Pokemon cards because that's about how many noteworthy cards I think there are inside of this set. So I'm going to break it down really quickly for you. There are 198 Pokemon cards inside of the main set. Outside of that, there are going to be 60 secret rares inside of Scarlet and Violet. Inside of your Scarlet and Violet booster packs, you are going to be able to find common Pokemon cards, uncommon Pokemon cards, holo rare Pokemon cards, although you could scratch off the word holo because every rare Pokemon cards from here on out are going to be holographic. Then you're going to see double rare, illustration rare, ultra rare cards which are full art trainers and Pokemon, special illustration rare, and then finally hyper rare or the true secret rare cards inside of every single set. And from this list, the cards that you're going to want the most are going to be the ultra rare, special illustration rare, and hyper rare cards. Keep in mind these are pre-release prices, so a lot of these quotes are going to go down significantly over the next couple of weeks as more and more people get their hands on Scarlet and Violet booster packs, but this list should be pretty consistent with the top Pokemon cards that everyone wants from Scarlet and Violet. So we're going to start off the list at number 21 and 20 because I couldn't really decide. We have two Pokemon cards, and that is the Rare Candy Hyper Rare as well as the Katie Full Art. These two cards are currently going for $30. Like I said, probably going to drop more than half in terms of price as more and more people open up booster packs, but this list will stay pretty consistent. Next up in 19th place, we have the Arcanine EX Ultra Rare card. They're adding some new terrestrialized card inside of this set, and the Arcanine EX is one of them, currently going for right around $35. We have quite a few full art trainer cards on this list, which I'm always happy to see. We have the Jock full art card, one of the teacher from the Scarlet and Violet game. He is currently going for $35, and right after that, we have the Penny full art, which is currently going for $40. Next up, we have one of the brand new Pokemon. Iron Treads EX is currently going for $40. Right above that, we have Professor Sada, really cool looking card, I think, going for right around $45 right now. And above that, we have our first illustration rare card. This is a special illustration rare, so it should be significantly more challenging to pull than our regular illustration rare. This is the Arven card, which is currently going for $50. It is one of the cheaper illustration rares that you can pull. Special illustration rare, correction on that. Right above Arven, we have Nest Ball, which is surprisingly a really solid pull, and I think this card is going to be consistently a strong card to pull from your booster pack just because it's really useful in the competitive TCG as well as collectors just wanting it as well. It is currently going for $50, and above that we have our second terrestrialized Pokemon, Gyarados EX, full art, currently going for right around $50 as well. All right, we're moving on to the top 10 list. These are the Pokemon cards that are going to be significantly more popular. First up, we have the Great Tusk EX, currently going for right around $60, significantly more popular than the Iron Treads EX. And this really just comes down to the art. A lot of people do collect Pokemon cards based on the art, and I do think the Great Tusk art is just significantly better than the Iron Treads. The Iron Treads one almost looks like a regular full art trainer card. You really don't see the illustration of it, so I really prefer the Great Tusk one. Makes total sense. Right above the Great Tusk, we have the Koraidon EX Hyper Rare cards, so we still get a couple of gold Pokemon cards. We are no longer going to get rainbow rare Pokemon cards, but the gold ones I think look significantly better. These are pretty darn polished, and we have the Koraidon EX going for $75. Right above that, we have the Miriam Full Art, which is going for $80. Miriam is one of the nurse slash professor from the Scarlet and Violet game, a very popular character, and is one of the most expensive card in the Japanese set, so it makes sense that this card is going to be having very similar level of value on the English side. Above the Miriam full art, we have the Miraidon EX Hyper Rare beating out Koraidon. It looks like Miraidon is just a little bit more popular than the Koraidon. So the Miraidon EX Hyper Rare card is currently going for right around $85. We'll have to see if these two cards are going to switch places over the next couple of weeks, depending on their popularity. But they're probably about equal, so they're both going to be right around the exact same price. Above the Miraidon, we have these Jock Special Illustration Rare card, currently going for $90. Really surprising. It's a very popular looking artwork, I suppose. He is a popular professor, but I think the Special Illustration Rare cards are definitely going to be a little bit more challenging to pull compared to the regular Illustration Rare. Above Jock, we have another really cool illustration, and that is the Gardevoir EX card, which is currently going for right around $95 US. Remember, these prices are probably going to be slashed in half over the next couple of weeks, especially into April, as more and more people get access to Scarlet and Violet booster pack. So the Gardevoir EX is definitely a very popular one just because of the story that it tells really resonates with a lot of people. You are going to want to collect both the Ralts and the Kirlia to have the complete set, but I can see a lot of people displaying this set just because it's really cute and the story, like I said, resonates with a ton of people. Above that, we have the Penny Special Illustration Rare. This card is currently going for right around $100. Not a cheap card at all. I can definitely see its price dropping, but it really is just going to depend on how rare some of these pulls are going to be. We just don't have enough data, so it's going to be hard to see if these prices are going to really stick around at these levels. Above that, we are moving on to the podium. These are the top 3 most expensive Pokemon cards that I could find for Scarlet and Violet. They'll probably stay this way. Looking through the list, it makes total sense that these cards are going to be the most popular. In third place, we have the Koraidon EX Special Illustration Rare. Really cool looking card. This card is currently going for right around $120 US. Next up, we have the Miraidon EX Special Illustration Rare, which is going for $130. Barely inching out the Koraidon. Like I said, it just looks like Miraidon is just a little bit more popular compared to Koraidon. And in first place with a strong margin over the other Pokemon cards, remember these are pre-release prices or my best estimate on what some of the value of these cards are. I don't know how much these cards are going to really drop in terms of prices. Usually the most popular cards from each set is going to stay near the top just because there's just a ton of demand for it. And if you haven't guessed it yet, it is the Miriam Special Illustration Rare card. This card is currently going for $200 on the pre-release market, which is a staggering price. I think it is going to maintain some level of value. It looks like for most Pokemon card sets, the most popular Pokemon cards actually retain quite a bit of their value. The top cards from every single set, at least. If you look at the prior sets, cards like Giratina V-Star, the most popular chase card from Crown Zenith, it's still holding steady well over $100 just because of how popular it is. And I do think the Miriam Special Illustration Rare is probably going to hover around above $100. You're not going to see a staggering decline. Some of the more lower tier cards on this list are definitely going to have some significant drop, but the most popular cards, the most rare cards, and the most in-demand cards are going to stay that way. Looking at the Miriam Illustration Rare, it's a no-brainer. It is clearly the most vibrant and interesting looking illustration rare. The other ones just don't reach the same level. If you look at the other illustration rares on this list, cards like the Jock and Penny, those are still retaining value, but if you look at those cards compared to the Miriam, it's very clear that the Miriam's artwork is just significantly better and more interesting overall. The other cards are just a little bit too boring. They're very basic in terms of design. You know, Jock is just sleeping and Penny's looking out the window, whereas the Miriam card really showcases a lot more personality and it's just a really cool looking illustration. So it makes sense that it is significantly higher in terms of popularity compared to some of these other cards. So it's going to be interesting to see how this list stacked out. That was the top 20 Pokemon cards from Scarlet and Violet. What do you think? Is this set really going to be super hot? It is going to be a really cool list. Like I said, there's 60 secret rare inside of this set. So there was a bunch of illustration rare cards that we didn't even get to talk about. Cards like the Ralts and Kirlia are going to be valued probably at around $10 each. The Kirlia might be a little bit more expensive than the Ralt, but there are a ton of other really cool illustration rares that we didn't even get to on this list. But it looks like the Scarlet and Violet set is going to start off the series with a bang. Really strong set, a ton of really cool cards, and it's probably going to be a lot of fun to open. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment, and I will see you guys next time.